The question lottery with Marlon Roudette, and one very important question: is his father responsible for his success? Watch and see. Our question lottery.
Okay.
So we have very nice questions for you. That's the green ones.
Okay.
But we have nasty questions for you. That's the red ones. You can choose yourself.
I'm taking the nasty ones, man.
Okay.
Listen, this is how I roll. I'm dangerous.
Yes, you have to turn it.
Okay, you have to rip it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you've got in store for me. When you were young, you sang in front of the mirror with a hairbrush. You wanted to be a star. Did your dream come true? That's great. That's quite interesting, because I think one of the things that I repeat constantly is that I was never one of those kids.
Oh no, I can't believe it.
I was a little performer though.
Yes?
Yeah, because I used to play I still play
the
steel drum, and I was always trying to steal the limelight at any one of our concerts.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of hair then. I had like a big hairdo. And so yeah, I think it's. I think there's a little part in all of us that likes the limelight. Yeah. Walking out on stage in front of 15,000 people. I mean, it's an indescribable feeling. So.
Yeah. What's feeling is it? What is indescribable? It's like sex or like. Yeah,
it's different. I mean, the sex is such a sort of intimate experience. It's such a enclosed experience. With the live, there's just something that just feels so sort of global about it, so sort of, mass, almost socialist in terms of how many people are involved. And there's not another medium where you have that many people pointing in the same direction, directing energy, especially if it's a positive song, directing that amount of energy in one play. I mean, it's a very, very powerful thing. And I think, like a lot of performers, I'm very, very humbled by it, you know what I mean? I come off stage and, just talking about it now, I can feel it,
You feel this energy?
Yeah, it's powerful. I mean, I've had a few, sometimes you have a tough gig where it doesn't really sound right and you're still giving a good show, but you have to concentrate quite hard. And other times you float away, and you're in another zone, and it almost feels like there isn't a stage and a crowd. It's just
one thing.
And, to have been given the opportunity to do that in my lifetime, it's just something I'd never forget.
Okay. So
I like these nasty questions.
Yes,
this
so
is
you can
it's more interesting. Go on,
move on.
I'll go for a nice one this time. I'll be.
But they are very difficult to answer, the nice ones.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right.
Because they are like.
Wow, are you so talented?
Yes.
Well, you see, that first of all makes assuming that I think that I'm talented.
Yes, that's the difficulty.
I honestly think that I've had a bit of talent, and I've been blessed with a voice to be able to do what I do, but that's a small part of it. The rest has just been dogged determination, hard work, sort of a refusal to let go of a dream. I'm very, very stubborn. I'm a Capricorn. For me, that's been very, very reassuring. The fact that if I work on something almost until I'm at my point of madness, the chances are it will succeed, you know what I mean, because of that. So I would say, yes, talent, but also one of my talents is that I can work pretty much harder than anyone.
But why? Where came the talent from?
It's strange. In St. Vincent, there's music all around. Where did the ability to work hard come from, or?
Oh no, the talent.
The talent.
The whole
picture. I think it's a little bit of genes. It's a lot to do with my environment. I had very creative parents. My mother, especially, amazing records in the house, always encouraging us to be creative, to express ourselves. For me, making music wasn't a rebellion, because I was made to feel like it was a right of mine, so that was huge. I mean, I was encouraged as a child, so I think that's a massive part of it.
Okay, so it's important to have the right parents.
I think they're all nasty questions, aren't they?
No, that's not nasty, that's fair.
Okay, let's go for another nasty one. You know what this one is, that's why you're giggling. Your single, New Age, was in the German charts #1 for 8 weeks, but the people still ask, who is Marlon Roudette? Isn't it a pity?
Sometimes.
No.
No.
Because I get to walk around
Yes.
Germany in rush hour and no one recognises me. I think it's understandable, you know, going from the band to a new name. It takes a while for people to associate the name with the face, with the song.
Yeah.
You know, that's a challenge. You know, I also think that because we have a lot of faith in the album, we're not desperate. You know we have time to get into the consciousness of people, and I have a lot of energy for that because at the end of the day, I'm just being myself. It's not like I have to put on this this show or this act. It comes quite easily. That side of things. But yeah, it's something that we're working hard on.
Okay,
you know what I
okay.
mean? We're trying to.
Perhaps it's better in this way that not so many people know your face and. Oh, that's Marlon Roudette.
Yeah.
I want
but
a child from you.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not such a bad thing. Or I want to tattoo my
Yes,
name on your arm.
Okay, you met a fan, yeah?
Which happened today, yeah. Today I had to do an autograph for a fan because tomorrow she has an appointment with the tattoo artist and he's going to tattoo my autograph on her arm. I mean craziness. So, but amazing at the same time that you've touched someone in that way. But I think it's very, very important for me because I think it's an amazing album and I want people to enjoy the album and get the album because I think it's a timeless record. And to do that, they have to, I think, understand and buy into you as an artist. So it's something that I'm aware of and I'm working very hard. And so, yeah. And you guys are helping.
Yes, we're helping. So.
Shall I go for nasty or good one?
I
Go on,
think
you
the
choose.
nasty because it's...
We like the nasty ones.
Yeah, I like the nasty one.
Yeah,
and you?
Okay, yeah, I like a bit of controversy. Let's see. Be honest, your father is responsible for your success. Well, fortunately, with this nasty question, I can honestly say he's never been involved in my career.
That's strange because
Yeah.
when I read a bit about you, I read he's one of the most successful music producers in London.
Well, I don't know about that. He's had some success,
Yeah.
but and he's worked with some very, very talented people, and I'm very proud of what he's achieved. But you know, I grew up in a single parent family with my mother. So that was always the biggest inspiration for me. And I do remember going to the studio with my dad, and I remember sort of hanging out and sort of assisting on some sessions, and I met some artists. But in terms of my career, I think it was important that I went off to do my own thing. And maybe, if I'm really honest with myself, there's a point to prove there, maybe. Yeah. You know? Lots of different things motivate you.
And that's one motivation? To do it without your father?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think it was possible because we're very, very different people, first of all, and our relationship had been very, very difficult. So I don't think it was an option anyway.
Okay.
But I think that was for the best because, you know, I really, when I sit down and think about my career and I think about my achievements and everything, I'm very, very proud of the sort of the effort I've put in. Not that there's anything wrong with relying on family, but yeah, and also I've always had, you know, my mother's surname, and because she was the biggest influence in my life, I'm very, very proud to carry her name. So yeah, that's important for me.
Or is it instead difficult to have a career as a musician with a famous music producer as a father?
Well, you're kind of...
Because you have the contract in Germany and not in Great Britain.
Yeah. Well, I have, because of the hit in Germany, I have a big contract in England now. Yeah. I don't think... in the UK, they don't care. You know, it's is it a hit? Can you sing live? Blah, 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 blah. The family connection is a by the by, you know. But you sort of... You're damned if you do, damned if you don't with the famous family connection. Because if you don't mention it in a press release or whatever, a newspaper a year down the line finds out, gets a scoop, and all of a sudden you're a fraud. You know,
yeah.
you've painted a rags to riches story, and it's not
Yeah,
true,
yeah.
right? But then if you include it, everyone asks you about it, and they say, okay, well, you must have had some help. But don't get me wrong, having family in the music business, and not just my dad, my uncles on my mum's side were all musicians. My cousin was signed to Island Records.
Oh.
My auntie, my mother's sister, went out with Ian Dury, who was a famous punk musician from the 80s in England, big cult figure. So it was right throughout the family. Having family that have proven that you can be a success in the music business is a huge inspiration.
Okay.
Because it's not a pipe dream.
Yeah.
You know people that have done it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, you know, very, very fortunate to have had that.
So did you ask some of your family people what are the difficulties, what your experience was in
No,
music
because
career?
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yeah, you see it close hand. You see what it's like to have the press lie about you. You know what it's like when the record companies screw you over. You know, you've seen it in close quarters. So you know, my stepmother, Nena Cherry, you know, even at the height of her fame, she was a mother first, a woman, amazing woman first. She was a good friend to people, and that's what I saw. That was the biggest effect on me, I think, from my dad's side of the family, was the fact that at the height of her fame, she was still the Nena that I knew as a stepmother, and I've tried to take that. I've tried to take that forward.
Okay. So last.
I like these nasty ones, man.
Yeah,
Oh, we're going for a
empty.
green one.
It's very difficult to have nasty questions for you.
Yeah. Euro star, but without airs and graces. I have a few airs and graces.
Yeah?
No, I don't. Why? I don't know. I think combination of reasons. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, probably the biggest one. Very small island. Everyone knows you, even before you're famous. Everyone knows you.
Okay.
And going back home, people don't care what you've been doing, how famous you are, how much money you have. They relate to you as the same old kid, and that's really, really important. The type of friends that I've got, they don't let me float up to the sky. There's a quick slap down before you get very far. So that's been very, very important. I made a few promises to myself before I got into the business. I actually wrote them down. I still have them at home. Yeah, and one of them was you know, to sort of not forget the manners that Mum taught me. You know, the very, very simple things throughout, because you know, I think you want to look back on your career and be proud of yourself at the end of the day, and so that was very, very important. That sense that you know, and again from St. Vincent, every time you step out the house, you watch your P's and Q's, because chances are they know your mum, and so by the time you get home, she's had a phone call and she's waiting. You know, so I've kind of applied that globally. You know, so I think that's very, very important. And but you know, I'm sure there'll be times when it's difficult and a story gets out or whatever. So you know, it's a honeymoon period right now. Let's see what happens.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Let's
see.
what happens. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
So, if you like this question lottery with Marlon Roudette, you will like the question lottery with Nickelback too, where Chad answers the question how important money is for him. There's a reason for this question. And ein anderes Fragenlotto, das wird euch sicher auch gefallen, und zwar das mit Albladi. Da geht es auch um Geld, das man ja auf YouTube verdient und ob man dann schon geldgeil ist. Und außerdem beantwortet er die extrem wichtige Frage: Magst du Bratwurst? Bis dann, bleibt dran.